It's like it's crazy that you're even here right now, because I know you just fucking. I know you just ran all day.
Yeah.
How many miles you get today?
We got history. We got 54.27.
54 miles.
Not including the fuck up I did.
The 2
that
miles
mile and
or
I had
so.
the 2 mile.
Mm-hmm.
So what would have been like 56.27, something like that.
Bro, do you use anything for your body, like
Nothing.
soreness? Nothing.
Nothing.
I use this stuff right here. This is a CBD balm that you roll on.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The only thing that ever bothers me is my knees. So I'll throw that on. Only when it's cold out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I'll throw that on, and that shit, I don't know. That shit works wonders, my man.
No.
I don't know how you do it. You're a vegetarian.
Yeah.
And you don't use like any helpful,
No
products or
no
gear.
vitamins.
The fuck?
I don't know. Dude. I don't know. Because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, just to be straight up, like, I remember I told, obviously, what's his name?
Who, Mason?
Mason. I remember.
See,
I told
look. That's
Mason
you just
knows
forgot the
his
man.
thing,
He just left. That's because you run 54 miles and you got no products. Nah.
He knows his thing, so he was like, obviously, like, his instinct was like, like, here's a protein bar, take a protein bar. You want a protein shake?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you're like, yeah, I'll take it.
I was like, yeah, I'll take it, sure, why not? And he was like, you could tell he's like, damn, he really doesn't take anything.
Nah, you don't take anything. That is impressive.
Like, this guy is literally surviving off of the Dollar General and the Dollar Tree this entire time.
That's crazy, man. It really is. It really is. Because I didn't even see you eat today, and we ran almost 20 miles.
No.
Granted, you didn't see me eat, but I went immediately and ate afterwards. But
yeah,
it's crazy. You were like, yeah, I haven't run since this morning, which was like 25 miles without eating anything.
Yeah.
Man, and you're how many days in?
I am. Today is day number 40.
Day 40.
Day 40.
So you've just winged it for 40 days.
Yeah, it's been
from like a nutrition standpoint. You're just winging it.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. I always tell people don't. I'm not a professional, so
yeah, don't do what I do.
Yeah, like you. I mean, I'll share what I'm doing, but I'm 100% sure it is not the proper way to do it.
Yeah.
Because we're all built different. That's the thing, Like some people do need those nutrition facts for them to like.
Yeah, to really know what they're taking.
Yeah. You don't want to harm yourself too.
Yeah, you want to just make sure you got enough fuel. Is this the lightest you've ever been? Like, were you ever any heavier than this?
Oh, hell yeah.
Because you're like, what? You told me you're 30-something, 30?
35.
35?
35.
So what was like your heaviest weight in life? And then like
I was like 220.
No.
In high school.
You're 220, and how much do you weigh now?
I'm probably like 130.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 5'7".
So when did you get into running? Because your thing right now, for those of you listening, your thing right now is that I'm gonna just do it a injustice, but I found you because in your bio it says on Instagram it says a sad run.
Yep.
Sad run, and you're running from Los Angeles to New York City, all the way across the country, to spread awareness for like mental health and suicide, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So, and I asked you said this is day 40, meaning you left Los Angeles and you ran to here.
Yeah.
And in the past 40 days, you came from Los Angeles to St. Louis on your feet.
Yep.
That's crazy. Okay. So what got you into running in the first place? Because you said you were 220. And, now you're 130. Were you always like, did you like get into fitness? Is that what brought you here?
Man, what? So wait up. So got into running, right? I got into running as of November 2021.
So you've only been running for like 2 years?
Pretty much.
That's cool. Okay.
I mean, I wasn't like, I'm talking about like more than 10 miles a day.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I would run just to like, obviously keep a balance.
Yeah.
With my diet, or not even diet, but just to make sure I don't go back to 220. Right.
Yeah.
And so it was just like a normal thing. Go to the gym, do 3 miles.
You did like go to the gym and you lift weights and you.
No, I never lifted weights.
No, you just.
I would just go there and I'll just do like a mile or two. Because I was always active too, with my jobs.
Yeah.
I had warehouse jobs, and I mean those things. You're constantly just walking back and forth, lifting things. So
you're in your mid 30s though, and I guess what I'm trying to get to is you're in your mid 30s and you really weren't like a running athlete before this.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
No, I know nothing of the industry. I'm just like still learning myself. I'm still like a student.
You know what though? When I think about tackling something like what you're trying to tackle, the one thing that pops into my head is the fact that there's a chance of injury. Like that would be the thing I would worry about the most.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's not incredibly complicated to not get injured, but you do have to like understand running a little bit to make sure that you're like not going to get like stress fractures or overuse injuries, or like your running technique. Like for example, today I saw you running and you kept your arms pretty still.
Yeah.
And you take short choppy steps. It's a very safe and reserved way to run.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do that on purpose or not. But
the backpack.
Oh, it's the backpack.
Yeah, because it has its own movement.
Yeah.
So I've been having it for so long that I made it a part of
the way you
the
run.
running style.
Yeah.
So
you're basically rucking from
I remember you were telling me
Los
that.
Angeles to New York. This is not a sheer to call it a run is doing yourself a disservice. This man is running with like a 20-pound backpack on his back. That's insane.
I didn't even know there was a term for it until you told me. You're like, it's rucking, and I'm like, what is that? And you were explaining it to me, and I'm like, okay,
bro,
I guess I have to change the title.
You got to change it. This is the sad ruck. This is
the sad
ruck. Bro, I think there's actually like some equations out there that say like rucking is like this much harder than regular running. So like it's 2.5 times as strenuous or something like that.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, it's and you mentioned that. Okay, so Mason, who's a local here in St. Louis, he works over at First Form. He's an avid runner. He's actually how I found you on Instagram.
Yep.
And he ran the most amount of miles with you so far that any stranger has showed up to run. You said he ran like 41 miles, right?
Yeah.
But he carried your backpack for a little bit.
He
carried
it for like the first, I think it was the 28 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember when he put it on. Sorry, Mason, I have to tell him the story. I remember when he put the backpack on, he was like, "This is light," and I'm like, "Just remember what you said right now. Just remember, right?" I'm like, I'm waiting till mile 20, and then I look back at him, and he's already. That's when you start holding on to the backpack from the
from the straps.
right?
Yeah. I know. I noticed you don't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's what makes it easy.
That's the how you mentioned how I keep my hands a certain way. Yeah. So it helps with the movement. So it rocks with my body. So it doesn't feel like, because when you're doing this, the backpack is trying to swing
it's
more
back
this
and forth.
way than this way. So now it's like, it's one way, like the rocking goes with my torso. Yeah. Because of the arms that,
because your elbows are kind of being like a
guidepost.
Exactly.
It's helping the stability out. I mean, I learned to do it because I had no other choice.
Yeah, it's probably what felt the best, right?
Yeah, you're like trying to figure out like, damn, this sucks. Like,
yeah,
it's just interrupting my running.
Yeah.
Just to put it like very bluntly, like, and I wish I didn't have this backpack on, but I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm by myself.
Yeah, you need the backpack.
I don't have a follow vehicle.
You're doing this. You know what they call this in running circles is you're doing this unsupported. Yeah. Meaning like you don't have a crew. Yeah. You don't have a pacer. You don't have anything. You're just out on the street, dude. It is crazy that you're doing this.
Yeah, dude. What Mason did, just like it was. I got a taste of how it would have felt to have, like you said, a pacer or someone that knows.
Oh yeah, because he does this.
It was joy.
He does like races and everything, so he knows what it's like to like be a part of the crew. Yeah, and make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're staying fueled. Yeah. Go and get supplies for you if you need. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just in shock, realizing like, damn, this is how he got by.
Yeah.
Like he saw my routine and he's all like, he's literally just like trying to get through. Yeah. Like he knows nothing. Like when he was trying to offer me like protein bars and all that, I was just like, like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah,
you
I'll
know?
take it. Yeah, you
Yeah, I'll
didn't.
take it. I was like, cool, because he knows, right? He knows his thing, and it felt good, you know, like, yeah, somebody. And then there's times where you're running, and it's hard to keep a pace because you don't want to run anymore. You're tired,
Yeah.
not tired, but you're like, you're just, your mind is exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
And having him broke that mindset, or broke me away from having that thought, because
Because he's running at a certain pace.
he's running at a certain pace. I remember he told me like, "Hey, is this fine?" I was like, "No, run at whatever pace you want. I'm following you."
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Like, yeah, like it's keeping me going.
yeah, it's keeping.
So even today, I imagine, like, obviously he wasn't there today, but I still imagine him being in front of me.
Yep.
Right.
That's freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
So
It was sad to watch him go. I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
Like, my heart broke as soon as he left. I was like,
You're like, man, he's been here for 41 miles.
Like, I'm back by myself. I was like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
it actually feels good to have somebody that knows, or somebody that's, you know.
That knows the game.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but that's solid, you know. But I would expect that the solitude you learn to appreciate too. No, because
Yeah.
you spent a lot of time by yourself these last 40 days.
Yeah, that was the concept behind even.
Yeah, what's the concept behind the helmet? Because I guess we should have probably started by addressing the
I know,
elephant.
they're
in the
like,
room.
why is he still wearing?
Huh?
You're right. We should have started.
Yeah,
with
we probably
that.
should have started with addressing the elephant in the room.
You
It's
got
like-
used to it. That's like, you got used to
I
running
did
with
get
me
used
with
to
it.
it. I
Like,
did get used to it.
you're like, wait a minute, that's not his face.
Wait, that's not normal.
Yeah, right.
You know, so what? Yeah, this is definitely the first time I've had anybody on the podcast is wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's the deal with the fit?
Okay, cool. So Scout, right? He's actually a character that I created in 2018 during music festivals, and the concept behind him was he's pretty much this dead character, right? Because the music that I was around it involved a lot of I like to say sad boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
My friend, obviously Christian, he's the one who brought me along to it was Warped Tour.
Yeah.
And the concept behind it was just like this depressed, character that's very insecure and antisocial, just different, right?
Yeah.
Not the normal from society. And that was it. It was just a concept, right? And I myself went into a dark hole because of everything that I was doing. So it's weird how I kind of created a character in 2018 without that mindset, and then fast forward to now or 2022, and that's when it started. That depression got to me, and I didn't know what to label it. I didn't know what it was. So I was just kind of taking it in, and then I started labeling it where oh, is this and that. A lot of trauma, a lot of shame, and a lot of just things that I've just never talked about. And I say, you know what? I express myself through art, and this mindset fits this character that I created in 2018.
Yeah.
Scout, right? So as you can tell, there's actually a face on the visor. Whoops. There's actually a face there, and there's some ears right there. So
Yeah, I
that's
see
the
him.
actual character. So the helmet, people were like, "Why is he wearing a motorcycle helmet?" I was like, honestly, there's not it's not the motorcycle
There's nothing
helmet.
to the helmet.
It was just something that I used as a canvas
Yeah.
to put my art into.
Yeah.
It was
So when we were running, because dude, this is insane. I love it. I am so fascinated. There's a couple things in particular that I love about it, but I want you to fill in some more context too. So when we were running, you brought up Walt Disney.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And you're like, man, what he did basically. So you told me what he did and how that inspired you, and how this is just you taking what he's done and a step further in the way that you bring characters to life. And so can you just explain that because
So it's cool. I think this is my first time ever saying this, which is awesome because it's always something I kept close to me. I was a huge, obviously, Walt Disney fan, only because the way he changed the industry within animation or cartoons, how he got adults to reimagine what a lot of us lose when we transition from, being these preteens or teenagers into adults, right? We tend to gravitate more to reality, I guess, comments
that you can call
it
logic,
a lot of logic, right? And then too much logic destroys the imagination. So the Walt Disney kind of like created a product, joy, for adults to still feel I guess
they could tap into
inspired and use their imaginations, and by infusing art with music, right? Like Fantasia, amazing, right? And I thought that's so genius. Music is just like a universal language.
Yeah.
So even if these characters didn't even talk, people were able to already like feel and imagine.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just like, that formula was like so genius at the time, right? Which we still see.
We still see it.
It's just right. The formula that he created, is what they're still like living. But to me, I was like, what more can you do though? Has anybody taken that a step further with like having these characters and
making
what
them,
else?
making them
we
real
have
and relatable.
AI, right? We're starting to get AI and all, but it's still not. It's not real. It's real to an extent, but it's not like in our dimension.
Yeah, it's not
real. This
real.
is our dimension, right?
Yeah.
So I said, what if I let my art create its own story? What if all I need to do is let it use my body and mind, and let this character create his own life? So creating, letting this cartoon character create a story in real time.
In real time,
and then me being the, I guess just the subconscious of the character.
That's crazy.
That's
especially
all I'm doing.
Because what you were just explaining is like Scout, is this character that you created in 2018 who represents, a melancholy, mood. It has, sadness and, it has that vibe.
Trauma,
and
depression.
Then, fast forward and then you're in 2022, 23, and you hit a slump of depression and sort of embody the vibe that Scout represents. Yeah. And now you find yourself not feeling inspired by the way that Walt Disney once brought, animation. He brought animated characters to life. Yeah. Or 2D characters to life. Yeah. Where you're like, fuck it. How am I going to bring my character to life? And this is the embodiment. Like even the Instagram account that I found, that's not you. That's Scout.
That's
right?
Scout. Yeah.
I found Scout's
This is
Instagram.
Scout.
I found Scout. Exactly. I found
like
Scout's.
I'm not even here, to be honest. Like I said, it's still like that's why this is still on.
Well, when we were running, also you were like, yeah, that's why that's why it's still on, because you're Scout right now. Yeah. So, but when we were running, you also said something that was powerful, which is like, you're like, bro, this isn't the story. Yeah. Like me running from Los Angeles to New York is not the story. In fact, over the course of this journey, Scout will have come to life, but then the story begins. So implying to me that you've got a plot that Scout gets to go and enact. And there's people all over the country that have followed you or run with you or whatever, that will literally be interacting with and playing a role in Scout's story. Yeah. That's insane, dude. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It's so cool. Like, for real, it's the level of creativity. And dude, what I think I was telling you when we were running, like, I just had to come run with you because one, when I see somebody running from, Los Angeles, I don't care what they're doing. If I see somebody doing something crazy, extraordinary. If I could something I consider extraordinary, I love it when ordinary people challenge themselves to do extraordinary things because I think everybody's capable of doing it. They just limit themselves. And so when I saw you doing that, I was like, man, I gotta go support this guy. But like the level of creativity in your story and the level of resilience and grit and courage for you to do something so extraordinary in the pursuit of it's almost an artistic pursuit. I think it's fair to say. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I tell people when they ask me, what made you do it? I'm like, art.
That is insane, dude. The fact that you're so invested in it is so crazy to me.
Yeah. I was obsessed, dude. I was hyper obsessed over it for forever. Like I said, cartoons was just like my getaway, right? I had a rough upbringing and animation just kind of like took me away from reality.
Yeah.
Growing up in South Central, Compton, and those areas where you're just a kid, you don't
Where's
understand.
that?
But reality.
You grew up in Compton?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I was out there in like South LA and all that. So you don't have a choice because you're born into that environment, and the only thing that made sense was when you turned that TV on and the cartoons were there, and it took you to a different world.
Yeah.
And then that TV turns off and you're back into
craziness,
into things that kids shouldn't go through. I know there's other parts in the world where it's worse. Yeah, it's crazy. You're just a kid and you're just still trying to comprehend. Like you said, kids have imaginations, and that's you're infatuated by it, but then like your reality hits you like right from the beginning. Being raised in an environment like that. So that was my escape, dude. Animation was my escape, and it's just like that's why I never grew away from it. It's always been
it's been a part of your life since
it's always been a part of my life.
So you brought up like your past and your upbringing a couple times, and does that have something to do with why you dedicated this run to like mental health and suicide prevention?
I'm laying it all down. Yeah, just I had I went through my own journey, had self-reflection, and there's a lot of things that I always wanted to say, but like I said, you know what? Let me use this and give life to this character also, and at the same time express myself. There's things that my family's never heard of that they're just hearing through this.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
A lot. Like the heaviest one is with my father. I still haven't talked about that, but that's like one of the main ones. Like he was. Obviously he was never there, but going to school, you see, what a mom and a dad is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you think about it, and it's there, and then you realize that you've been abandoned, pretty much, because I'm an adult now, and I see everything that happens, and how you could easily fall into the wrong path.
Yeah.
So I could just imagine, I always looked at my father as my father, nothing else, but then, realized like, dang, he was an individual as well. And I don't know what he was going through. He never talked about it. What if he did? And I hated him. I hated him just because that's the only thing that made sense, You
hated him when you were a kid?
It just always, because I was obviously like, you just feel like, fuck it, like he didn't care. He just abandoned all of us.
That's crazy, man.
For like another family. So it was, you don't know how to comprehend that. And then, like you said, reality, logic kicks in, and the only thing that made sense at the time was like, well, I hate you. Like, that's the only thing you could do, like
Yeah.
lean towards, right? But then you started, like, as you get older, you start realizing, like, damn, like, he was probably going through so much stuff. And mental health back then, it was never talked about,
Yeah.
especially with men, right? It's the stigma. So it hit me like, damn, I never bothered to ask him.
Oh, did your father? You said your father passed away.
Yeah, he passed away.
When was that?
October 2020.
October 2020. So your father passed away, and it left you, wondering, like, man.
No, it just, at the time I was like,
was it suicide or was it
no.
natural causes?
Well, pretty much you could consider it suicide. He drank. He just never put the bottle down.
He drank himself to death.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
Slow death.
And
right?
so you wonder, like, if he was an alcoholic, if he had mental health things that he was dealing with, that he was running from 100%. By just yeah.
Like, people could call it and label it whatever they want, but at the end of the day, it's a depressant, and it's just I've been in that mindset. I've never drank before. Or
you never drank before?
No. No, because I realized where my starting line was at.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to sprint, because I don't want to. I just refuse to accept that, the life that, like, it's the cards that were handed to me, where I'm like, no. I'm not,
yeah.
I'm not gonna stay here. I'm not gonna be this way. Like,
I'm not gonna do this.
The adults around me were the examples of how to stay in that environment.
Yeah.
And so I did the opposite, right? People around me would drink, smoke weed, and do drugs, and just that was like the pastime.
Hey, I smoke weed, man.
That was a pastime, but I was like, I don't have time to pass like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get out of here. Like, not just me, but with my family.
Yeah.
So that was, as a kid, I guess because I was very animalistic about things.
Yeah.
I broke down the smallest things, so that's why I never picked up the bottle or like.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, dude. Yeah. I mean, hey, more power to you. That's amazing. Yeah. That's bro, that's crazy, man. And I can relate. My dad left, and just abandoned me and my brothers and my sisters and my mom as well. And I know it's fucking hard. And I'm sorry to hear that your dad passed away. So when did you first think about running from LA to New York, and then when did you actually start?
That was a week before I started.
No way. A week?
That was a week before I started. I was in New York,
and you were like,
I called my friend. I called one of my best friends, and I was like, Christian, that idea I had that I told you I was gonna do one day. He's all like, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna do it next week. Wow. And I remember he already knows me, so he's all like, okay, okay. And then I got everything together. I started, like, just got my tent, got my backpack, everything that you guys see. The art was already there, right? The art was already
the character already existed.
I just needed to put him on something so I could, like, display. So the reason why I chose, he actually doesn't look this way, but the reason why I went with the black on black is because I wanted to portray how people feel in this world when people don't understand that they're going through a mental health situation, or whether they're taking pills, going therapy, or something like that, because it's always looked down upon, right? It feels like you're a burden to other people sometimes, or they try to fix it. To him, it's like, let's fix you, but it's like, no, I think you're misunderstanding the concept. Like, you can't fix it, you cope with it. That's
you can learn to cope.
You can't say, oh yeah, I've been raped and now we're gonna undo it, right? Like,
that doesn't happen.
The mind doesn't work that way.
There is no fix for that.
Exactly. So sometimes people feel like they're invisible. So my character is supposed to portray.
It does depict that. Like, this
it's
is an
like
invisible
I'm there, but
motherfucker.
he's here, but people don't see it because they're trying to see with their eyes, not with their minds. Because remember, he's a animated character, so he exists. He's here, but he's, you also have to use your imagination to being like, I tell people he's here, right? So, but they like him already, obviously, but like what I've been doing and
Yeah.
everything I've been sharing, and they accepted that. So it's cool. Like I said, that's
Isn't that crazy? Like people are literally lining up to support some some
'cause
character.
Yeah. Well, they don't, like I said, they know. I keep saying it's a character, but they're like, but it's just a helmet. I'm like, no, there's eyes in there. Like, see the eyes and nose and
Yeah.
ear, and they're like, but it's just like.
But
I was
even
like,
still, they're dealing with you. It's almost like, I think that's one of the most fascinating pieces of this. They're dealing with you as Scout.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, because I can't. I signed my. I gave him. I gave him. My. Like I said, I gave him
autonomy?
everything. Yeah, I could just let him use whatever. Us human. What makes us human. So I kind of.
You
But
lended
like
him
my
your
mind,
humanity.
I'm not me. I'm
Your Scout.
He's in charge right now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the one taking over, and that's why when I'm running out there, I've never ran that much. Like I told you,
You never ran that much.
No.
But
So
he
it doesn't
can.
feel like it's me,
But he
right?
can.
Yeah, because it doesn't come off.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, like to me, it's normal because it's like, oh no, I always tell people, oh no, this is what, like, look, can we see your face? I'm like,
Oh, I know.
this is my face.
Oh,
I was like, what
I
are you
know.
talking
Bro,
about?
I saw you in the gas station. Here's the deal. I was honestly nervous to go in the gas station with you because we're in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And in St. Louis, I don't know if you know anything about St. Louis. It's a wonderful city, but we have terrible, terrible gun violence.
Oh yeah.
And so you walking in with black on black with the motorcycle helmet on and the visor pulled down, I was like, oh shit, is this store clerk gonna think that we're robbing her right now? I think that one lady in CVS was nervous, and then I was just like, oh, we're just looking for a water, and she was like, oh, okay. Like, I think she was nervous.
No, you're right. They do, but like
But you're disarming. Like your demeanor is so nice.
Yeah. I go up to them and they're like, oh hey, how are you? And they're like, oh hey, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna get a water, or like I don't even tell them. It's just going there and grab my stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's normal. I don't know. Like I
know
forget.
in
I guess
most
I
places-
forget.
No, it's
you know.
not normal. It's not normal, but it's cool because people will deal with you and they don't say anything. That's so crazy. You've gotten people to buy into this concept that you came up with.
Yeah.
That is the most fascinating part, dude. So, what's your best day so far? What was the highlight day so far? Was it the day that Mason ran with you?
That was one of them.
But
I think.
Let's see. Best day.
When this horse ran with me for a few seconds.
When what? A horse?
A horse. It was. I was somewhere in Oklahoma, in like the farm, like heading towards Miami, and I'm just in this rock trail. There's a video on Instagram, and I saw this horse and I pulled my phone out because I was like, I record random stuff.
Yeah.
And I pulled my phone out and I started walking and I was like, come on, run with me. And then the horse he looked at me and then he starts running and I'm like, no way he's running with me. And then I start running and then he starts just picking up speed too. I pick up speed, so we're both like running, right?
Yeah.
And it ends because he runs out of the fence, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no more room for him to run. And I remember like when that happened, it ended, and I was like, I put my phone down, and I'm like running. I ran just a few seconds, and then it hit me, because I was like, damn, like that's all I knew about my dad.
That's crazy.
That he loved horses.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so like that moment there was like.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was like.
I'm happy that
I
you got
remember
that.
I
moment.
cried the whole fucking way to Miami, because I never let it out, dude. I never let it out, and it just like I couldn't help it. You know, I'm like trying to because I said I was gonna be very open about stuff, and I never directed the post directly to my dad. Well, now you guys know.
Yeah.
I just try to keep that out of the. But I'm like writing this into this caption, trying to explain this like the moment, right?
Bro, I hate that. I hate that. I sometimes I have so much to say, and a caption just doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
That's why I started podcasting, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can just talk and really get your, what you want to say out.
Yeah.
And then once you say it, it's out there, it's good, it's done. You don't have to worry about writing it and editing it and responding to comments and all this crazy shit. Yeah. But dude, that's fucking powerful, man. Yeah. I'm so pumped that you got that moment. I'll tell you right now that one of the deaths that I really struggle with, because we just met, is my big brother died when I was 16. Yeah. And man, I tell you what, the only reason I brought that up is because you said you cried the whole way. You never let it out. The night that I finally let myself cry over my big brother, when my big brother died, it was in the evening, and I went to school the next day. I tried to brush it off for the longest time and just pretend like, whatever, I wasn't feeling anything. And I spent 5.5 years in prison for possession of psychedelic drugs, and so one night I was in prison and I decided, like, for whatever reason, and I'm sharing this because your thing is dedicated to mental health, and I've had a lot of mental health struggles myself, and this was it was a breakthrough moment for me. And it sounds like the horse running with you was a breakthrough moment for you, which is amazing, dude. I'm so pumped for you. But I decided to write my brother a letter as if I have one more conversation with him. Yeah. And so I stayed up late, and I got the light on, and I'm writing in my journal, like a letter, like for real, like pretending like this is what I got to say. And that night I cried so hard, but it was like that moment, like I'd never let myself cry, and I let myself have it. And the next day I woke up and I felt like a fucking 1,000 pounds was lifted off my chest, like I felt like a totally new person. Did you have a similar experience with
Oh yeah, dude! I couldn't even type in, like, I obviously you're already thinking about what you're gonna write before you start writing it. But when you start writing it and you start reading your own words, as you're thinking about them and writing them, it's just like, it took me a while to write every single word. Yeah. Just because I was still caught in the moment, but I knew I had to do it there and then, because I don't want to revise my emotions. Yeah. Because then you start, then it turns into logic.
Yeah, if you don't do it, immediately, it's not the same.
It's not the same. Yeah. Because that's when you start pulling back because of shame. Yeah. Right. Shame also gets in the way, and I just said I need to do it right now and just put it out there, and that's it,
You mentioned shame twice so far. Is that like, are you ashamed that you never went and talked back to your dad, or where's the shame come in?
I think in general, dude, like, that's why we never talk about a lot of stuff, because it's just...
Oh, that's true. The pressure to just be tough, right?
Yeah, just to be tough, or it's just like, how do you tell people that you've been, just making the wrong decisions, or you have been having the wrong mindset? That's what stops us from doing so much, it's just like the shame, of like, you're a grown as adult, and now you have to say it out loud, like, I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. I wasn't as right as I thought I was, and I never said it, even though I already knew. But it was a shame that stopped me from telling somebody, "Hey, I'm sorry," or "Hey, hey, I cheated on you," or...
Dude, do you remember earlier I said when we got to the running store, I was making that video, and I'm like, my Boy Scout, whatever. And then I turned to my buddy David, and I was like, "Hey, look at this. David's here, and he's wearing that T-shirt. Remember the T-shirt that I pointed out? Do you
yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, he's wearing the Quit Lying to Yourself. See, dude, we have the same shirt on. What are the chances? The shirt that he was wearing and that I was wearing, it says Quit Lying to Yourself. And that's an Omen T-shirt. My company, we just released that, and the whole premise of the shirt is basically what you're saying right now, which is that you're basically saying that we feel this overwhelming sense of of shame when we lie to ourselves, right? And we lie to other people about, whatever it is. When you don't tell the person that you cheated on, or when you, whatever, and you have to say, I was wrong. That's the moment. That's the quit lying to yourself moment, is when you finally say, fuck, man, this is on me. This is my fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I fucked up. I was wrong. Hey, I did this. I did that. Hey, this is who I truly am.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That it looks many different ways, but man, that's so crazy that that shame ties so closely to that, man. This is crazy, man. I'm so pumped that I went out to run with you. Like, what? And you were pretty responsive. You, I shot you that DM. You're like, yo, here's my location. You can find me if you want. Yeah. So I got like two more questions that should be pretty short. But what's your worst day so far?
Worst day? What is my worst day?
Yesterday. Yesterday.
When I left home.
Oh, the one you left when you left home?
Because I knew it was gonna start.
How many miles did you run on the first day?
I think it was 40. Might have been 46.
46?
46, 45.
Fresh? Just left home?
Just fresh.
That's crazy, man.
Fresh off of the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do you stay in a hotel every night?
Now I am. Like, hell yes.
Yeah.
Yes, now I am.
Now that it's
and
cold.
Not in the beginning.
In the beginning, you slept in a tent, right?
I slept in a tent.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That was hard. Very hard.
Savage.
Yeah, that was very hard to recover and not being able to shower every day because it helps with the recovery for sure.
Yeah.
And it was tough.
See, bro, I'm gonna give you this balm, man. This will help you. I'm telling you. My knees feel better already.
I believe you. I'm just dumb because I have no knowledge of any of that.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Honest. So,
because I definitely have knowledge. I got some stuff at the house too that I might give you, but because I believe in that company that Mason works for. They make some really good stuff.
Oh yeah.
First Form? Yeah, they make some really good stuff.
Yeah. It's good.
I know a bunch of those guys over there. So, all right, last thing is I was curious, just out of curiosity, when was the most amount of people that have showed up to run with you? Like
today.
Today was?
Today.
No way.
Yeah.
5 people.
Yeah.
Or no, 6 including Mason.
Because not a lot of people know.
Yeah, I mean you've got.
There's some followers, but you know what's funny? Most of them are international.
Oh, got it.
That's it. But yeah, so nobody knows. Everybody just thinks my bike broke down. That's all. Like, wow. That's pretty much it. So which is good though, because that was the whole. I actually wanted to be out here.
Yeah.
More focused on my run and less on trying to, I guess. I'm just writing a story, like I told you. My character's building his story, and I started alone, and I know I had to finish alone. Yeah. But, but it felt amazing though.
Today was the most. I can't believe that. St. Louis, man.
St. Louis did it, man.
St. Louis showed up for you.
Unless like Illinois or Ohio, Pennsylvania, or Indiana.
You still got a bunch more.
Or New York, you never know. But for sure.
I bet you in New York there's going to be a lot of people. I bet you, man. No, I believe in you. For real. I
still get excited, dude, just crossing these state lines by myself, dude. I don't care. Nobody's watching me dude.
It doesn't matter. You didn't do it for the audience.
Running every day.
Yeah.
And you get that feeling of like a new state, right? And it's just like hits you, dude, right? It hits you, dude. You're like, I ran here. I fucking ran
here,
dude.
That is insane.
You don't care if you're alone, dude. That's like you're yelling by yourself,
bro,
in the middle of freaking nothing because there's nothing out there in these back roads, right? This is probably the most like populated area that I've been on since I left.
Really?
Yes. I haven't hit any major cities at all. The biggest, like I said, was Los Angeles, and after it's just been like these. Because I'm taking the back roads,
Yeah.
So I'm not hitting like these giant like cities or.
Well, St. Louis ain't a giant city, but
it's still the biggest one compared to all the other ones that I've been through. You know. So,
dude, that's amazing. I can't imagine the pride that you feel when you're like, when you hit, because Illinois is right over that bridge.
Yeah.
That right next to your hotel.
Right there, yeah.
Literally, you can see Illinois.
I can see the river that separates it. Dude,
when you cross that bridge, bro, I can't imagine how you feel. Like, I ran here. Like,
yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, man.
Because I told you about my ultra, and like I felt proud after that. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I've never admitted that I was proud about anything ever in my whole life, but I'm proud about that. I was like, man, I ran that. You ran
through hell.
Here's from Los Angeles.
Yeah, because every day you're running and it's not easy, and you moved every day to get to that destination. Like
yeah,
like I was telling Mason. I was telling Mason, because I remember we were in this truck driving here.
Yeah,
and he was like it's crazy how you, like, when my coworkers were like, oh, did you show him up like how we do it, and Mason was like, nah, actually that guy's like, he's good. Like, he told me, like, but he's like, but it's funny because he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right. And it's true. I told him, like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know how this works. I'm just like, I told him all I know in my head that I have to move my feet.
Yeah.
Move forward. That's all I know. Like, as giving that command of run, move forward, and that's it. Like, that's pretty much the logistics to my own running, right? It's just move forward.
That's crazy.
At a fast, like, as fast as I could move, I guess, and pack as many miles as I can. So I'm proud of it. It might not be the most professional thing ever. It might not be like the fastest place ever. But
you came from Los Angeles.
Yeah, like, I'm doing something I've never imagined myself doing at this pace. So
yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a celebration every day, man. Because you're like, I did it again. I did another 50. Right, I did 60, I did 40, right, and then
that's nuts. You did
40 days later, you're in St. Louis,
Yeah, and you think it's gonna? How many more days do you think it's gonna take for you to get to New York?
I don't even think about it, dude, because I was supposed to. My target goal was 53 days. Somebody told me, why 53? I was like, because it's a hard hit, but at the same time, it's still somewhat doable.
Yeah.
But I need something. I need a big number to go for, because that's what's going to push me.
Yeah.
If I would have gone with 60, 70, it wouldn't
Yeah,
push
you have
me.
this bulletproof mindset where you have a competitive mindset where because I heard you talking when we were running together.
Yeah.
You're trying to do whatever you do, you're trying to do it the best.
Yeah.
No matter what. You were talking about in your previous career how, like your boss loved you because you were just like, if I'm here, I might as well do everything as good as I possibly can. And you worked really hard. Yeah, you're already investing your time into doing something that you wake up and you do every day. And the only way you're going to find some sort of gratitude or being thankful for it, it's if you make it like you want to give it your all, not just because you're going to get paid for it, but this is your life. Yeah. You're doing this, find pride in it, find joy in it. And you know what? Make it fun. And to me, fun is being just being the best. Right? Yeah. That's it. Being the best is fun. It gives me, it is what helps me get up and, be excited to go to work. Yeah. That I'm going to go there and I know I'm going to work my ass off. I'm not going to get a raise. But it's going to be that gratitude that yeah, you do it for you. I'm still on the top, right? I'm still the best one. Yeah. I'm still the best at what I'm doing. Yes, and that's already it's so rewarding. And like I said, I don't care. I never cared about how much I got paid or anything like that. That wasn't the mindset. It was more about my life. My time was, more valuable than, any paycheck. And I enjoy doing what whatever I'm doing at the time. That's it. Yeah. Well, dude, this podcast is called the Good Omen Podcast. And I think you're a good omen, man. That's why I asked you to be on it. I really do. I feel super inspired by people. Whenever I see an ordinary person do something that's extraordinary, it really, really inspires me because I have this philosophy, if it can be done by anyone, then it can be done by anyone. Yeah. Right. And when you see an ordinary person do something extraordinary, it just is confirmation that, like, man, regular people are capable of extremely, you know, inspirational and impactful and powerful things. So, dude, I really appreciate you. You know, what you're doing is fucking amazing, and I appreciate you taking time. But yeah, dude, any last things you want to leave with the people, and then also where can they find you? How can they support the?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, you guys can find me on. I'm mostly active on Instagram and Instagram for sure. So you guys could just type in Det Scout all together. So Scout, instead of the C, it's a K. So it's
Dead Scout.
Yeah, it's DEAD, and then SKOUT. So Det Scout.
Got it.
Yeah, and then same thing for Facebook. There's TikTok too. I'm
cool.
Gonna I'm not posting there, but I'm gonna get to it. And yeah, I guess my farewell message, I guess, is you know, you even through the darkness, you could shine, dude.
Yeah.
You know, there's light at the end of the tunnel, or at the end of the day, or even in darkness, dude. There's some sort of light. Just like, you know, the moon comes out at night, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, that's you can still shine, man. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you for real. Thank you very much. I wish you the best of luck on your journey. I wish I could run with you tomorrow, but I can't. So, dude, thank you.